Hello YouTubers and cinephiles, welcome back to another edition of Nerd with me, John Ricky. So apparently it's Harry Potter time again, with a new installment into the Fantastic Beasts series, which is scheduled to be a 5-part series. And what do I think about the first one? Well,
I know you know, alright? And I know you know I know you know.
Right.
Damn, boy! That's what I'm talking about, Jake! My nigga, are y'all watching this?
This was my dream, my wish. It didn't come true.
What the hell is a gigawatt?
Then again, maybe not.
It's not my fault being the biggest and the strongest. I don't even exercise.
And it absolutely will not stop, ever.
now don't get me wrong, man. I like Eddie Redmayne. He was great in Theory of Everything. He's been in a few other movies. Like, yeah, he's a good actor. But I kept wondering, where is this going to? It felt like the whole story was really just meandering, and it's just like, ooh, look at this. I mean, was really curious as to how we have this guy who's basically the Steve Irwin of the magical world. Basically lets or has some of his animals escape in New York, and you're just like, why is this? Where is this going to? And it just kept like muddling through and everything like that. And then it got really good at the last third. You're just like, oh, okay, all right, I see what you're doing here. Even though I liked a good amount of the characters in there, like I liked the new Scamander, even though he is like just okay. I like the characters of Tina and Queenie. Those are nice American additions. I like how it expanded the world to America as opposed to, like, you know, the British ministry, so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. And I especially love the character of Dan Fogler's Jacob, who is basically the audience for this series, and you're just like, okay, that's how I would react in this one, which is a different angle from the original Harry Potters, where it's just like, alright, this happened, da-da-da-da-da, and go. We're at the school. We're gonna learn it as we're at the school. It's like, alright, cool. But the way that they ended, particularly the character of Jacob in the first Fantastic Beasts, it made sense. It made sense for a one-off, and as soon as I saw the trailer for this version, I'm like, alright, I really like the character of Jacob, but it's like, what the hell is he doing in this one? I mean, I'm really sitting there like,
quite unfortunate.
Now again, I love being ported back into this sort of world. You know, you're kind of getting a little bit of discovery with the Jacob character, and it kind of feels like they really shoehorned him in here. And then they have character who was the MacGuffin of the last film, Credence, played by Ezra Miller, and he's back. It's just like, oh, he's here. Don't really explain exactly how or why, but okay, he's the MacGuffin again. Let's get rolling. I mean, there's a lot of new characters that come into this film. It's at times there's just like, wow, maybe you can cut a few of these characters out. And particularly the good ones, the good additions are a younger Dumbledore played by Jude Law, and Johnny Depp is Grindelwald, aka the prototype Hitler / allegory for present-day Trump, set with a lot more charm. And these two are the best part of this movie. Like, their storyline is the crux, and it really, really maps out where it's going to go. I was like, alright, that's where we're gonna go. Jude Law is pretty damn good as Dumbledore in his own way. Like, personally, I think he's a little bit too handsome to, like, even now, to see how he goes from Jude Law to Michael Gambon. Nothing against Michael Gambon, but it's just like a drastic difference, you know what I mean? And he was great. But there's also other characters that are really just there to be like, ooh, remember this, kids? Yeah, that's connected to Harry Potter. Watch out, da-da-da-da. You'll know it once you see it, because, like, other than that, that character is useless. There's a lot of moving parts in this film. I'll say this, one thing for sure, Johnny Depp is amazing in this film. Like, this is a dark film, and he does some dark stuff in here, but he doesn't play it like how he's been doing for the past 10-12 years since Pirates of the Caribbean, just playing this weird, goofy, what the hell is that caricature. But he's actually legitimately charming, you know, like he went back to Donnie Brasco days, menacing yet charming. But I mean, the film has a lot of its flaws, you know. There's some times in this film, I mean, a lot less than the first time, where it's like, I'm like, alright, can we move this along? Can we move this along? You can feel the pressure of the studio on J.K. Rowling, like,
You mind if I have an apple?
But you know what? For that situation, a lot of good, to me, came out of this movie, and it does seem a lot more cohesive than, let's say, Batman vs Superman or Justice League.
I figured the cape.
But by the climax, you're just like, okay, now I'm invested. This is probably what should have happened in the first film, but fortunately here we are, so it kind of feels like a bridge. And that's like one of the main problems, is the fact that it kind of can't stand on its own, as opposed to the original series where the first 3 or 4 were the standalone films or standalone stories. And these ones really do feel like, alright, this is running into the next one, you gotta wait. But there's revelations in the last like 20 minutes. You're just like, okay, that was very impressive. Some action scenes that are really good. I mean, especially the opening sequence, you're like, okay, that was cool. That was vicious. That was nice. And the CG looks very phenomenal, except for this one part involving these guardian cats. You're just like, alright, that could have went through a rendering or two before. But all in all, David Yates, who has directed each film since Order of the Phoenix, like, he knows this world. But I will say that they probably should move on from him for the next installment. It really needs like a freshness to it. But amazing production, amazing music, and I am really now locked in and geared up for the next one, because wait a second, you're like, okay, this is where they've been trying to get to, and I'm in. On that note, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald gets a resounding
life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, like I said, man, it really doesn't stand by itself. It really just connects to the first one, at least the last like 20 minutes of the first one. The rest of it is kind of filler. The relationships, story arcs were a little bit stronger on this one, but I am geared for the third part, where it's like, okay, now it's going down. Anyway, YouTubers and Cinephiles, what'd you think about the newest Fantastic Beasts? Do you like it compared to the original Harry Potter series? Or do you feel like it's kind of like meandering or whatnot? Let's talk about this, YouTubers and Cinephiles. Take care. If for now, YouTubers and Cinephiles, if you like the content and you want to comment, like, share amongst your friends, but do me a favor and look below the video and click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get more amazing content like you just witnessed today. Y'all take care, YouTubers and Cinephiles.